TasTAFE is ongoing too, isn't it? As the paper states, TasTAFE reform debate heats up. Talk about it. It's certainly been a push and shove, Labor against Liberal in regard. Josh Willey, the opposition education spokesman, he said there was no reason for the government to turn TasTAFE into a government business enterprise as it planned to do. And then, of course, Sarah Courtenay has said in another desperate attempt to deflect from their woeful internal disarray, Labor has recommended its ridiculous scare campaign. On it goes, Ruth.
Yes, yeah. I mean, we have had, of all the upcoming legislation, and there is quite a bit, Mike, this is the one that we've had the most lobbying, if you like, and emails and communication, phone calls and the like. So it's a big issue, obviously, for a lot of people. I think, and I've been talking to industry sector people, the TAFE people. I've had briefings from the government department about why we need to make this change. I think some of the language that's being used is not really helpful, because what they're actually proposing is not a government business enterprise as we look at Hydro or Tas Networks or one of those. It's more an independent sort of statutory body that's sort of independent from the government to a degree, but still very much part of government. So it's a sort of a hybrid that's not really like the others that we've got. Otherwise, you would have established under the Government Business Enterprises Act, which is not the way they've approached it. So the other point is, Mike, I'm struggling in some respects to see what the problem is we're trying to fix exactly and whether this will fix it. Yeah. I think from a lot of the information I've been hearing is many aspects of TAFE have been underfunded and under-resourced for a very long time, and thus it's sort of like death by a thousand cuts, if you like. And so, in my view, if this can be fixed without changing the structure by proper funding and resourcing, then why would we fix something that's actually not broken if we put the right money into it? But if it's more than that, and it does require a different structure such that the TAFE educators are employed under the Fair Work Act as opposed to being state servants, which is the major change that's certainly bothering TasTAFE staff and the unions, the Australian Education Union and others, then that's a matter I really need to understand more fully as to why that will bring benefit. So because we're not dealing with this one until later in November, I've sort of put that one on the back burner for a bit while we deal with the gaming one and trying to prioritise, because they're pretty complex. Well, the TasTAFE one's not a terribly complex piece of legislation, but it is complicated by the fact there's a lot of interest in this and very disparate views.
Look, tell me about it. It's but it gives good fodder for my program. And let me also share some good news, isn't it? I mean, Tasmania's one of Tasmania's best-known farms transferring back to Aussie.